Hello everybody, happy Monday. I'm excited to be jumping on. I am recovering from a very fun birthday weekend, so I was like, you know what, let's get on here and go live and chit chat with everybody. So as you guys jump on, make sure that you say hello, let me know where you are tuning in from. And we're going to be talking about the inner work today that has to happen for you to be able to increase your sales. So we're going to dive into that, and I'm also going to be diving into some of the burn and release details as well. So as you jump on, I think that was Kaylee's little heart. I think that was whose picture I saw. But hello, Kate. Hello, everybody who's jumping on. Make sure you guys say hi. So we're going to talk about some of the inner work that has to happen to be able to increase our sales. So if you've ever been to a point in your business where you're like, I feel like things are, growing. I feel like I'm getting to that next level. I feel like I'm, doing the strategies, getting on live video, talking on my Instagram stories, putting out the offers, putting out the content, putting out everything that you need to be able to do, but you still kind of feel like at that point where you're like, oh shit, like I feel a little bit stuck on where I'm at, and to want to be able to go to that next level. And so what I had found for myself is when I was really starting to hit that next level into my business, I had been implementing a lot of the strategies I learned. I love strategy. I teach strategy all the time. And I was like, okay, like I was feeling like I hit kind of like a wall. Like things were happening. I was, being able to gain more clients and my business was really picking up, but there was something that was getting in the way of me really being able to step and grow into that next level. And so when I realized, I'm like, okay, if I have to turn inwards to be able to look at this stuff, what are some of the things that I needed to tap into? And so obviously, you guys know I talk about this, and if you don't, like I'm constantly working with coaches. I'm constantly getting support around, the strategy, the inner work, all the things. And, the first thing that I now, after like really reflecting back over like the past year and doing this work with my clients as well, and really being able to scale and take your business to the next level and increase more sales, is the first thing is, allowing yourself to be seen. And for me, when I was understanding this in the larger sense, I was looking back at it from the standpoint of my like inner child. And so I do some of that inner child work with my clients and looking back at my little girl and allowing her to be seen. And so when we're growing a business, you're telling your story, you're putting yourself out there on social media, you're sharing a lot about yourself. And so it has a lot of different pieces of you that require you to be vulnerable and show up and put yourself out there and do all these different things. And it's scary, right? Like we have to tell a story. We have to tell probably some of like the biggest transformational like stories that we've had, or things that we went through, breakthroughs, maybe the hard times, the great times. And it's a lot to be able to put yourself out there on social media. It requires a lot of vulnerability. It requires a lot of trust in yourself. And what I had connected that back was, as a little girl, like I always wanted to kind of just like be quiet, be in the corner, and I wanted to like hustle and do all the things and have all the achievements, but I kept myself like small and kept myself kind of quiet in the corner. And so I connected, a lot of that was in with the inner child. A lot of it was allowing myself to, take up space and be able to really own what it is that I was doing and put myself out there and feel safe and supported while sharing my story. And so the better, I guess the more that you're able to work through that, you have the realization around it, and you're able to say, okay, you know what, like this is what's coming up for me. This is why I feel scared to be able to do that, right? Because it does take a lot out of us. You connect it back into, okay, what was that like for me growing up? What stories have I told myself about allowing myself to take up space, or allowing myself to, be seen, or, is there something that I need to heal from and understand? So that was the big first one when I was understanding, okay, here's where I'm going to have to be able to grow and to be able to go deeper with my clients, to be able to increase my sales, work with more people. I'm going to have to show up at an even bigger level of me and let people in even more. And so again, that little girl inside me wanted to like stay small, play it safe, like keep myself kind of hidden a little bit, because then I was always so afraid that, okay, what if people see me at a deeper level? Like they're gonna know that I'm not perfect. And so that was like a fear that I had always had for so long. And then once I made that connection, I was like, oh my goodness, like that's a big reason of why I'm not allowing myself to take up more space and allowing myself to really go into that next level, was that big thing. I was able to work through that, and I was able to release a lot of those beliefs. I was able to do some inner child work to be able to create my space to be able to do that. And so if you feel like, oh gosh, like I'm struggling to get on live video or start the podcast or really put your voice out there, get on Instagram Instagram stories, do those things, you got to start to make the connections of, okay, where else has this popped up in my life? Where else do I have these thoughts? Where else do I have these beliefs? So that's like the big first one. It was like a huge aha moment for me. And obviously the more that you're able to put yourself out there, because people are going to connect with your energy and they're going to want to know who you are. That's how you build that know, like, and trust, is storytelling and, you know, getting your energy out there on live video and stories and all of that, so people can connect with you and hear who it is that you really are and where you've been able to transform from. The second thing that for me was like the big this is probably like the biggest thing that I teach on, and was a huge jump for me in my business, was understanding that receiving and being open to receive was something that I had been blocked off for so long. And so when I talk about being open to receive, I mean like actually like being open to people paying you. And you might be sitting here thinking like, yeah, of course I'm open to that. But I had to start to make some connections of, am I really open, or am I kind of blocking myself from receiving that? Or do I feel the need to like justify, even if someone was trying to offer me help, you know, or if someone opens the door for me, if someone gives you a compliment, or all those different things, that's part of receiving too. When we're looking at receiving and we look at it, I teach it as a portal, we have to like look at it in other ways of my life, or in other ways of our life. So for me, I was like, okay, where else am I receiving abundance right now? Where else are things flowing into me? And so I realized, you know what, like I was having money flowing in different ways, and I was being able to, you know, receive compliments without needing to justify it, and just taking things in and saying thank you. And it made such a difference of, okay, I'm open to receive. I am receiving in all the different ways. Like I'm literally looking over here, and like I found like a penny on my desk, and like, you know, it's just those different things where it's like, okay, let me start to be open to that, and let me start to allow myself again to be seen, but also not need to justify it, and to feel the gratitude for what it is I had right now. And with receiving as well, was really understanding like celebration of that, and celebrating everything that was coming in, and everywhere that I was just receiving, you know, love or support or money or you know, comments or engaging, whatever that looked like. Once you can understand that and you're like, okay, I am receiving in all the different ways, then you create space for that to be able to flow in. Because money wants to be able to flow to you. It's an energy, it's a currency. And so when you're open to it and you have the declaration of, okay, what am I going to do with it when it does come in? Because we're always manifesting, right? Like a lot of times I'll hear people say like, I want to manifest more money, or I'm going to manifest this. And in reality, you're always manifesting. Just sometimes you're manifesting the things that you don't want instead of things that you do want. And so really opening up your portal to be able to receive in all areas of your life really creates that space for money as a currency and an energy that wants to flow to you. Again, you're receiving when you work with a client or a customer or whatever it is, understanding and recognizing that so you can be open to that. So that was the big second one that really helps me to understand this, and I teach this in a really deeper level in Burn and Release, and I'll talk to you guys about that at the end. And the third thing was, it was really standing in my power and owning my worth, and not playing small in that way of, okay, I'm just going to do this to do this, but I'm like, who am I? What do I really want to talk about? How do I want to show up? And giving myself the space to create things in a way that felt good for me. You know, there's a lot of rules in the online space. There's a lot of way that people say, oh, do this, do this, do this. And everybody has things that work well for them. That's what got them here. And so I'm like, okay, I know that I do deep transformational work with people along with the business strategy. So let me own that space. Let me allow myself to really stand in my power, put myself out there, create the things that I wish existed, and really take everything to the next level. But sometimes there's a fear, right, of going into the next level, because there's a responsibility to the desire. And sometimes we will block things from coming in. We don't even realize we're doing this because we have a fear if we get to that next level, you know, whatever 10K month, 5K month, clients, whatever it is, that there's going to be a new version of us that has to show up there. So either we're going to have to be seen more, or we're going to have to, for some of my clients, it's been like managing more money, right? So there's always this responsibility to the desire. And sometimes we're subconsciously blocking it because we have these fears of like, oh gosh, at that next level, I'm gonna have to show up at a different level, or this is gonna require something of me, or whatever stories that we tell ourselves, or people are gonna get to know me at a deeper level. And so when you start to understand that those like three major things, I mean, there's a lot of different things that can block us when it comes to the inner work, but for me, those are like the big three that I like to talk about. And if we're blocking those, and then we're like, okay, I'm doing I'm putting myself out there, I'm doing the strategy and doing the work, you got to understand, like, okay, let's make a connection from maybe what isn't working on a strategy level and what's happening internally. What's happening with your relationship around money, what's happening with your relationship with your significant other, or receiving or attracting abundance. And once you have that spider web created and you start to see, okay, I'm showing up in my business this way, but I'm also showing up in my health this way, and I'm also showing up in so many different areas of my life, you understand what that big, like, overarching theme was. And for me, it was understanding that I was in such, like, a burnout mode. I was really operating my business in a place of scarcity. I was trying to create things from this is what I don't want to this is what I do want, rather than creating a place and transitioning into my business, into the next level from a place of desire. And so when I was able to start to understand all this stuff, and I made this huge connection, I was like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. Like, not stressing about the burnout, not like running around thinking about numbers all the time, or making sure that I was open to receive, allowing myself to stand in my power, doing the inner child work and understanding all of this. Like, that's when my business started jumping at a massive rate. And I was like, okay, this is the stuff that I teach. This is the stuff that I do with a lot of my clients. And a lot of them will come to me for strategy, or they're thinking that they need the next strategy, the next thing. And then we kind of dive into a lot of this inner work, and they're like, oh shit, it all makes sense. But the inner work and the strategy both have to happen for you to grow your business. And they both have to be there, working through the beliefs, working through the thoughts that we have, understanding our receiving, understanding our relationship with money and our power and our light, and putting out what we want in our business, and being able to do it in a way that feels really good for us is something that I'm really passionate about, because all my clients, especially like my one-on-one clients, some of them are moms, some of them have children, or that's the same thing, are in relationships, or have multiple different businesses that they're doing. And so it has to look a little bit differently for everybody, because we're all different, right? So really finding that unique piece of, okay, now that I look at it, now that I think about it, what's holding me back? Where am I dimming my light? Where am I just kind of thinking that I have to do something? Or where am I like growing into my business, but maybe I'm blocking what I am blocking coming in? I need to understand, where can I open that up, and where can I work through some of those beliefs, which is a big reason why in this last month, in the beginning of March, I was like, okay, I want to take my business to the next level. I want to take my skill set to the next level. And something that I'm always doing, I'm always working with coaches. Right now I have 3 different like business and mindset coaches that I work with consistently on, as I'm growing. That's something that's really, really important to me. But the next thing that I wanted to be able to do, I'm like, okay, how can I take myself as a coach to the next level? And I got certified in NLP, time techniques, hypnotherapy, EFT, and success in life coaching. So it's like, let me take everything to the next level and have some more tools in my toolbox to be able to help my clients. And so that's where I was like, okay, this stuff is amazing. Like, you work through so many of the inner beliefs and the things that are holding you back, understanding things like timeline therapy and hypnotherapy and all these different things to be able to incorporate it into it. So it's like, I want to bring this to the next level. I had already planned to be launching Burn and Release again this month. And so I'm like, this is it. Like, I'm going to bring in more of this stuff so people can really feel the breakthroughs and can really integrate this stuff on a deeper level. And I've been doing like one-on-one breakthrough sessions and doing NLP stuff with a lot of my clients, and they're like, holy shit, like, this is amazing. It's crazy. I mean, I went through it. Some of my clients have been through it as well, like getting trained on it. And it's phenomenal and incredible, the work and the transformation that can happen without you having to relive a lot of those different things, and to be able to really release those beliefs that you have, and having different tools to be able to do that. And so Burn and Release is a program where, we talk about being open to receive. We talk about money mindset. We talk about the inner child work. We talk about how this connects into your business strategy. I have people that don't even have a business that have been through Burn and Release too. But I was like, I want to do a 2.0 version and bring this next level stuff inside of here, so there's even a bigger place for people to be able to go. And there's even a deeper level of integration and really breaking through those beliefs and creating space to call in what it is that you want to be able to call in. So that's why I'm adding all that stuff into the program as well. It's about a 5-week program. It starts on April 15th. If you guys want more information about it, like I said, about a 5-week program. There's a few days of integration there at the end. You get lifetime access to the information inside of the program, so it's not a program where things disappear at the end or anything like that. And it's a deep level work. It really pairs well with strategy and stuff that I teach, but it's a lot of things that we think we've worked through, or we think that we're good around, and we think that it must be more strategy, or it has to be this. And then this stuff opens you to be like, okay, now I understand how I need to own my worth. Now I understand how I can step into my power and really enter that portal of like quantum leaping and understanding that. So I was like, if I can save everybody like 5 years of what it took me to like really figure this stuff out and really allow my business to grow and get to that next level, then let me bring it inside of a program. So it's April 15th. The investment is $555, and I do weekly payment plans as well. So like I said, the program comes in a couple weeks. So if you guys want to be able to get into that, like I said, I do custom payment plans for anybody that's interested. So I wanted to just make sure that all the details were out there, because I've already had about 7 or 8 women who have jumped in already. So if you're wanting to experience NLP, hypnotherapy, you want to kind of understand like some of this more like inner, deeper, transformational work that happens, so you can really create the space for the clients to be able to come into your business and really take it to the next level, then this is going to be the program for you. So again, if you guys have questions, or you want to get signed up, or you want more information, just send me a DM and I can get you the link. All right. I think that's all that I got for today, but I will talk to you guys again soon. Goodbye.